My name is Eleanor Medina, and I am a guide to wholeness. I've been traditionally trained as a marriage and family therapist and have decided to pivot and go a different route, a more holistic route that chooses to see my clients, to see you as whole, as a whole being. And that's the essence of this course. That's the ground of this work. It's wholeness. Because so often in the Western world, we see people, or we're trained to see ourselves as broken. We're trained to see what's wrong, and we focus on that. But then, as you'll learn in this course, when we put our attention on what's wrong, that's what we create more of, what's wrong. And so in this work, we're going to learn what I call the being mandala, so that when our minds are caught in the busy places, wandering all over the place, we can actually bring ourselves back to our body, back to our breath, back to our wholeness, which is found so clearly in Mother Nature. She shows us the way so perfectly. And so we'll be using support and pulling in techniques and practices from nature so that we can ground and root into our soul's purpose. You know, we all want to know why we're here. And things need to change. You know, the earth is dying and we're not taking care of her. And the earth is sick and we're sick, right? So when the earth is healthy, then we're healthy. And it's important that we start working in this way to, like I said, till the soil so that we can plant the seeds that we really want to. So in this course, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. So first, we're going to look at wholeness. Number one, what is wholeness? It's really important that we start there. Then we look at your attention. So when your attention wanders, how do you bring it back? Then we feel resistance. Where's the resistance in our body, and how do we actually feel that? And move towards the resistance versus away from. And then how do we greet that resistance with curiosity and kindness? Moving then to listening to ourselves and to our bodies. And then finally, so that we can be here now. And the cycle keeps going on like that, just like the earth teaches us the cycles that she works with in the seasons. We are similar beings, and we can't be operating, functioning at our highest level at all times. We need to have times where we slow down. We need to have times where we move towards the fear. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, a teacher of mine, Pema Chodron, says when you move towards fear, you're moving closer towards the truth. And so we'll learn to work with that, but also with lightness and with fun and with play and with curiosity. And this is the most important work that I could possibly teach, and this is where we get to begin. I created this course at the start of quarantine when I was sitting outside one day in Denver, Colorado, and I thought, okay, there's all this stuff that I need to be teaching people, and I can't just be teaching people one at a time because I'm teaching the same material over and over and over and over again, and a lot of people need support right now because we've gone into a global pandemic, and how can I share this with more people? And so I created my first course called Forage Your Queen, and I ran Forage Your Queen 6 times with 8 different women in each group. And then I ran another course with all genders called Soul Forager, and it's the same content. And I'm teaching that here because I notice that when clients come to work with me one-on-one, I do the same thing. I teach the same thing over and over and over again, and that is ground. I teach the groundwork first. And so if you don't have the groundwork, then we can't get anywhere. And so I found that I was teaching the same thing over and over and over again, and I just thought, I have more to teach. There's more things that I need to teach. So how can I get this out in a way that reaches more people so that I don't have to keep teaching the same content over and over, and I can start sharing and continue sharing what's really present with me now as I continue to learn and grow. So the way that this course is going to look is Module 1, Wholeness, Module 2, Attention, Module 3, Resistance, Module 4, Curiosity, Module 5, Listening, Module 6, Being. And so it's a cycle, it's a loop, it's a compass that I'll take you through that is the most fundamental parts of our work so that we have a common language. So if we're working together one-on-one, I'll have you do Module 1, you have the information, you have the ground, you have the concepts solidified. So then when we're working together, we have so much more to play with, and I'm not teaching you. You've actually learned beforehand, and then we can work with what's present and what's really arising in your life. And that's what I want to be doing. That's what I feel excited about. And so that is why this course is so crucial for anybody who's going to be doing medicine work with me, anybody who's going to be working with me one-on-one. Without this content, we won't be able to speak the same language. And we know how important it is to be able to communicate and speak common language with one another. Attached to this online course is a detailed PDF for the books that you're going to need to purchase, and we also recommend getting a journal, one that you really are connected to, one that is specific for ground, that allows for us to really write out what's coming up for you. Some people aren't very much of handwriters, and it's up to you to decide. Some people really like to type on the computer, but if you can have something tangible, it can be really useful to have something to help move your thoughts. So please order the books as soon as you can, and be sure to set your space so that when you're doing the practices, when you're doing the modules, you feel really grounded and you feel really connected to where you are. So I love having a candle and some crystals and incense and my meditation bowl, and I really love having plants around for fresh energy and fresh air. I recommend having a big glass of water or tea or coffee, whatever suits you. And also being mindful not to eat during the sessions, while you're watching the videos, while you're doing the meditations, right? Eating, for example, can be such a powerful way to connect with mindfulness and to be really present. So if you're eating and working, or eating and doing these practices at the same time, you're actually doing yourself, I believe, a disservice. And so when you're here, when you're doing this course, please dedicate your whole attention to each module so that you can soak it all up. One of my favorite things about my work is that the word makaranda means nectar in Sanskrit. And I'm all about the bees. I love my bees. They're the best. And without them, we're dead. So we need to keep them alive. And we are no different, right? We're the same as all the other beings on the planet. And so what bees do, taking a lesson from them, they go out and they forage and they collect nectar in their mouth and pollen on their legs. And then they go to their hive and they eat it. And then it goes into their stomach and it churns around over and over and over again in their stomach. And then they go and they actually purge that into another bee's mouth. And then that bee goes through their digestive tract, and then they purge it into another bee's mouth. And so this process can go on for several bees, sometimes up to 10 bees. And then they purge that into their hive, and then they flap their wings at the perfect temperature for the nectar to turn into honey. Okay? So that's what we're doing here. That is the point of our work. And we need community in order to work with the information. Let it churn within us. Let it work on us. And then share it and say, how did this work for you? And that was hard for me. And I need help with this. And what do you think about that? And this part of the book was really interesting, but I don't agree with this part. And right? We need the community in order to support each other. And that's one of the best parts about this work. And then we can continue to grow and learn from one another, and we can really be a part of this cultural renaissance. In this course, I will teach you how to rewire your brain for peace in the present moment. And in order to do that, you have to do the practices and the teachings and the meditations. Otherwise, the information will go most likely one in one ear and out the other, right? So it's really important to do the practices. Please do them. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and you're wasting mine. We don't need that, right? In order for us to really make a change, you need to do the practices, and you know what they say about practice? Practice makes permanent. So please do them. It's really, really, really going to take you to the next level, beyond just the conceptual and into the embodied knowing. And what I mean by embodied is felt, the felt sense, the goosebumps that come, the actually being here now versus, oh yeah, presence, be here now. It's actually taking these lessons and living them so that we can have peace and we can create peace for ourselves, which is entirely possible. So I'll have you read several pieces of literature. I'll connect books and podcasts and music that I connect with and that I think really enhances the material. I'll give you homework assignments to go out into nature and dance. And of course, the number one most powerful thing, if there's nothing else that you do, if there's nothing else that you learn in this course, please, please, please meditate daily. Give yourself the time to start knowing the thoughts that are running in the background, that are creating our reality, that are the constant neural pathways that we're continuing to feed. And the way that we do that is through meditation. So 20 minutes of meditation every single day for the duration of the course is my request. And of course, it's up to you. But that would be the number one thing that I would say, take away from this so that you can start training yourself how to calm your own mind, how to stop the chaos and root yourself into the present moment where there is joy and happiness and peace and love. But you're the only one who can choose to do that for yourself. When you're doing these courses, I recommend having a clear space. Clean space. Clear space, clear mind. Clean space, clear mind. So important, right? I like having a glass of water, big glass of water. I love that. Maybe you get to watch these courses outside. Or if you don't have access to outside, then you have plants surrounding you, so there's fresh energy moving through your space. I like to have an altar set up, really simple. I have my singing bowl and my crystals and a candle, and sometimes I'll have incense going, and a little mandala that I love, right? You can pick your favorite things from around your house and create a space that makes you feel really good. Maybe you have a low-laying table and you are sitting on the floor. Maybe you're sitting in the grass. Maybe you're laying down and listening, watching the clouds. Things that really, really root you into the earth is how you're going to get the most out of the setting for this course. So when you finish this course, you become a part of the Hive. And the Hive is a community of people who have done the Makaranda method, who have done a lot of this work. There are dozens of people who are in the Hive already who've completed the past online courses that I've done that were live. And so I'll continue to add you all into these groups. So you have colleagues, you have friends, you have people to call on and support, so that this material can really start to integrate into your being and you don't have to do this by yourself. You know, in the Western world, we so often think that individualistic ways is the best, right? I can do it by myself. And the invitation here in joining the Hive and being a part of this community is letting you know, you don't have to do this by yourself. There are others who you can look to beyond me, who can support you in moments where that's needed, and just continue to bolster you and give you the love and connection that we're all ultimately seeking. I'm so grateful and humbled to be a guide on this journey for you. Together we come with humble hearts and strong boundaries and lots of questions. Come with questions, ask questions, be in connection with others in this community and with the earth. The earth has messages for us, and it's our responsibility to listen. And the messages that we have are already here within. We already know. I had a medicine teacher one time who had one bumper sticker on her car, and it said, "You already know." And I love that. And so what I'm doing is just bringing you and giving you knowledge that you already know, but somehow in this culture that we've been born into, we've forgotten. And so I'm helping us remember the earth, remember each other, remember that love is the way in which we choose to operate, or we can choose to operate from that place. And together we can heal from a place of wholeness when we do this groundwork. Thank you, my friends. Time for Module 1.